I put HIV positive on my profiles. People don't want to touch you. I remember being on a date with someone. So I brought him back to my place. Was like, okay, like I need to tell you something. Like I'm HIV positive. And I remember he like looked at me. It was like I murdered him. I was like, I thought he was going to beat the shit out of me. He was like, I can't believe you wouldn't tell me. And like, you gave me HIV, and like was just losing his mind. And I'm like, no, that's not possible.
You told him after the fact?
Oh, this garbage ass
human being.
Yo, get this trash off my screen, bro.
You told the person after the fact. And then you're mad that they feel some type of way about the way you told them.
You want to know how I know you're fucking full of shit? Because you told them after the fact because you thought it was important for them to know. Why wouldn't you tell them before?
Because you really
You're trash.
You really wanted to street sleep with them?
That's like me sleeping with a girl. I get tested. Everything's fine. I just take off the stealth her without her knowing. And then I tell her afterwards.
That's crazy.
And then I'm surprised when they're upset.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I hate these people, bro.
Even if I bled on you, like in an open wound, like that wouldn't happen. I'm undetectable. And like, you know, but he just like didn't want to hear it.
Am I supposed to go boo-hoo-hoo on you? Am I supposed to have sympathy for, you feel bad. Am I supposed to have some kind of sympathy after you told after the fact? Is that what it is? That what you? Poor thing. No, that's crazy.
No, the real insanity is still the people sitting across from going, they didn't see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it's
the way the law goes, like being undetectable. Like I really don't have to like disclose my status.
Right. We're good.
The way he justified it, he said, I don't have to. Yeah, there's a lot of things you could do sexually that you don't have to do that you should do because it's a half a decent person to think. I shouldn't stealth anyone. Most laws, it's not illegal. Just because I don't have to doesn't mean I shouldn't. Even if there's no risk for the other person, even if I'm tested, even if I'm snipped and I can't have kids, I should tell the other person. You're making the argument for stealthing.
Yes.
Legit.
Yes.
You're making the argument that informed consent is not necessary. There's no legal reason for it. None. There's no legal requirement for you to have informed consent. That means that you don't have to tell anybody the truth about whether or not you're on birth control. You don't have to tell anybody the truth about whether or not you got tested. But should you? He's not wrestling with that. He doesn't care whether you should or not. He's saying, I don't have to. Shut your ass up. That's where we're at.
That's crazy.
Do you think people should care if someone they're dating discloses to them that they have HIV?
I don't think they should. You have to understand, like, if I don't take care of my health, I'll die. By you having sex with me, you're probably having sex with like one of the safest people you could possibly have sex with.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want to die.
Yeah.
So like I'm taking care of myself. You don't know about the random who says that they don't have HIV.
True.
You don't know what their history is.
Yeah.
Like
The only thing crazier than what this goofy ass guy's saying is these two people being so
this people you could possibly have sex with don't have
so
HIV.
true.
You don't know what their history is.
Yeah.
Like
That's woke. Yes. You know you want to be woke
no.
sometimes?
You
want to be
Just
so
say
woke.
it.
You want to be so woke sometimes that you stupid.
Hold on.
And you're like, well, let's accept and you don't even think about what the fuck the person is saying.
I don't feel like I have to disclose the fact that I have HIV because I'm one of the safest people I know. I wear a helmet. I brush my teeth 3 times a day. I take showers. I take care. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree.
You don't agree?
No, I don't agree.
I just heard you saying yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Keep doing that. Now, like I was saying.
I have to know. I'm going to tell you why I have to know. All right? You're saying, oh, well, if I don't take my meds, I die. Mental state can change. So I have to know that if your mental state changes and you're in a state where you don't take your med, you don't even shower, you don't even know we have to push. It's my life in danger, but I don't know there's another potential danger that is just you not washing or just not feeling like anything. You're not even taking your meds. I need to fucking know that.
I'll take mental health for 500. Yeah. What is depression?
Yes, exactly.
Characterized by behaviors where you don't take care of yourself, you don't shower, you don't take your medication because you sometimes feel like you don't want to live.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to trust the fact that you're always feeling good mentally? Yeah. Thanks.
But whenever you're taking your meds, though, like there's like I'm not detectable. There's no chance of me even spraying it. So why would I even say it?
Listen, there's still a chance you could transmit it. That's why your doctor, what would your doctor say? They love authority so much. What do doctors say about HIV people telling their partners they have HIV? Okay, let's find, here it says. It says, doctors recommend that people living with HIV disclose their status to certain people to help prevent the spread of HIV and ensure they receive the best care. When it comes to sexual partners, for example, you should tell any current or past sexual partners before having sex with them. So your doctor's telling you this. At the end of the day, it's not even an HIV thing. If you think there's information that you have about your own health that's germane to the other person that you're about to sleep with, you have a responsibility to tell them. And if you don't, yes, that makes you irresponsible, selfish, and in some cases incredibly dangerous to the point of it being criminal. I understand that there's stigma associated with a lot of STDs, okay? But there's literally no reason for you not to say it other than the fact that you don't want to be rejected. It's for yourself that you don't say it. You are being incredibly selfish and you are making a decision for the person you're sleeping with, and essentially you're stripping them of informed consent, right?
Right.
That's like me saying, well, you know, I was tested. I know I can't have kids, so I'm just not going to use a rubber and not tell my partner. There's no harm that's going to be done. Why? Because I got tested yesterday. Is that my place to decide for the women what I do? No, it's not. That's something that you have a conversation with. And if you don't, there's some reassessing you got to do at that point. But it's a weird thing for me to hear someone say this stuff and not think about the other side and whether or not they want to know or whether they have a right to know. Even when they speak, they're like, well, I'm a good person. I take care of myself. I want to live. Okay, but I want to know. Does that not factor into this equation? Because like, even if you tell me, oh, you know, let's say you tell me after the fact, okay? We slept together, you tell me after the fact. You're like, oh, but don't worry.
By the way,
I take care of myself. I do all this stuff. Why would I believe you?
You just lied to me.
We just slept together. You know I would care. You didn't tell me. Yeah. Why should I believe that you're acting in good faith in any way, shape, or form? And now I'm going to start stressing like crazy. Because I'm like, do I have HIV now? Am I going to have to, for the rest of my life, have to buy medication? It is not for you to decide whether or not that chance is significant enough for you to tell the other person. If some girl told me, Halle Berry came to see me, spread her coochie wide open, and said, yo, stick it in me. But there's a 0.000001% chance that you will get the herpaderp. Halle Berry is going to remain a fantasy for me. Okay? That's just the way it is.
When I would be messaging guys on Grindr, and I'd be like, when was the last time you got tested? They'd be like 6 months ago, 8 months ago.
That's so... And I really think the only thing that makes it so stigmatized too is the fact that it's associated with sex as well.
Yes.
Even when we're thinking about something like herpes, like lots of people have the exact same virus on their mouth, and it's not stigmatized at all. Like children have it, you can get it in so many different ways. That exact same virus, if you were to give someone head while you have it, would give them genital herpes.
Totally.
Then that is something that is highly stigmatized just because it's associated with the sex act.
Yes.
There's lots of new research now, if all of us are actually getting properly educated, that you can engage with safe sex with people who have had STIs like HIV.
Okay, I have to correct this because like there's so much misinformation here, it's actually crazy. This can have lifelong ramifications for people. People don't research this shit themselves a lot of the time, so it's important. There is no idea of quote unquote safe sex when it comes to anybody who has herpes. There are safer, meaning there's ways you can reduce the odds of transmission, but you cannot eliminate it. Okay, that's just a fact. Whether it's shedding, not shedding, the possibility of transmitting is always there. And that's something you have to accept. Her saying, well, you know, people have it on the mouth, this and that. The reality is that, is it one of the worst viruses? No, I would argue that actually in terms of the side effects, it's actually one of the least bad ones. Actually, no, it is the one with the least side effects. Everything else can really alter your life. You get chlamydia, even though it's temporary. If you don't treat it, you could lose your reproductive abilities. You could have all kinds of infections that will have serious health. Herpes doesn't do that. You still get the rashes, you get the outbreaks, you get the stuff. For a lot of people, they just don't want to experience that. It's not incumbent on you to determine the gravity of that for the person. But she is right that there is stigma. The way that people talk about the disease, they don't know much about it. They talk about it like I agree that part's bad. But she's also lying. In an effort to combat the misinformation and the stigma.
You can't spread more stigma and misinformation.
That's it.
You can't do that.
That doesn't make sense to me. You know, like I met somebody and we were talking for some period and she was kind enough while we were having dinner. She's like, hey, listen, I really like you. I like where this is going. I want to be straightforward. And she told me to share it. I'm like, cool. We had a conversation about it and I just told her, listen, I'm just not comfortable with the idea. I like you. We're cool. I promise I'll never tell anyone about it. And I've never spoken. Nobody who knows her and me knows anything. But I could see it was weighing on her. So I try to be as kind as I can about it. And I appreciate the fact that she told me beforehand and gave me the opportunity to make an informed choice. I could tell that because of the way people perceive it, the way that she perceives what she has, that it weighs on her. So you never want to add to that. But we can't lie about what it is. We can't lie and say, there's no way I'm going to transmit this. That's not true. And you're going to tell someone this lie, they're going to get it, and then they're going to have such a shock. They're going to have so much shame. They're going to be so angry. And you're going to set these people down a bad spiral.
Just something just went through my mind. I think it's funny. We've established that, let's say you go on a date with a lady and she invites you to her place and you start to engage into intercourse, and in the middle, she doesn't want to do it anymore. Why? Because she doesn't want to do it anymore. She doesn't feel it no more. And it's totally acceptable for her to say no and not wanting to have sex with you anymore.
With zero reason.
With zero reason. We've established that it's okay. But somehow, it is not okay for me to say no because of herpes and HIV? Where did everybody go left and I went right? I don't get it. I think it is okay if you say no. It's sad. It's a sad moment. But it is okay. It is absolutely okay.
And I also think a lot of people that are supporting this kind of goofy rhetoric are only doing it because it's coming from an LGBTQ person. That's the only reason. I think if a straight hetero man said a lot of this stuff and he was sleeping with heterosexual women, 95% of the support for this would disappear.
It would be
all the people who are yapping about informed consent and try to educate me on that, all of a sudden go quietly numb when this shit pops off. Why? Because it's more important
to make people feel comfortable than to just.
It's more important to make sure your gay friends go queen than it is for you to say what's right.
It's not even a gay thing. I mean, there's a lot of gay people that would not agree with that, but there's a gay card there. I believe there is one.
Typically, like you said, those people who have been diagnosed, they've been in the clinic, they've had these conversations with healthcare professionals, and they know how to engage with safe sex with you, especially if they're bringing it to you. That means like they value your health and they're having that conversation with you because they care about you.
Exactly. And you think about it, like anyone that you meet on your first date or if like you're hooking up, like are you like, I have diabetes, I have high blood pressure. You're not telling them any of this shit.
People, like,
you don't necessarily like have to just
You compared HIV and diabetes
and high blood pressure to...
Hey, listen, you know what? If I ever hear that there's a 0.2% chance that you could spread diabetes, yeah, you have to disclose that shit. Absolutely. I'm not ready to take insulin for the rest of my life. You better disclose that shit, stupid. I still want to enjoy my cupcakes in peace. Shut your ass up and tell me, stupid. Talking about high blood pressure.
It's the same. Diabetes, high blood pressure, foot fungus, HIV, same thing.
A cold.
I got a cold. You know,
I don't have to tell you I have a cold.
Yo.
Crazy. These people are crazy, bro.
If you are undetectable, like you don't necessarily like have to disclose that. I don't think you're putting anyone at any risk that you have to like necessarily go through that, but it's because of the stigma and shame that I feel like I have to disclose. People would look at that as betrayal.
Because it is.
It is. You lied. You fucking straight up lied.
I don't know. It's fascinating to me because the people who did all that lecturing about consent, the ones who yapped on about grape culture, this and that, are so silent about shit like this. In fact, they sit there and they nod and they give this person speaking perms at their local campus so they can spread this fucking sickness. And this is a sickness, not the disease he has, his mentality. That's a sickness. I have compassion and I feel for people who have these diseases and have to be judged for it. I'm glad that people have the medication now where they can, and you do not deserve to be judged for it, but you do have the responsibility to disclose it. That is your responsibility. And I think most people who live with the disease know that, and they're compassionate enough to say it. But unfortunately, there's some freaks like this who are spreading this sickness, not the disease, but just the mentality. And yeah, this should be called out. 100%. It should be called out.
100%.
I've never heard somebody tell me they have HIV or they have herpes and felt revolted or ill or what. Never. But seeing this,
that's crazy.
Seeing the women across from him sit there and just, okay, no informed consent,
crazy. These hosts are crazy.
Just like a bunch of fucking, what is it, seals? You don't have to tell them you have HIV. Shut. Sorry, I did a pretty good impression. Was it good?
A bit crazy. A bit crazy.
Was it?
But it's. I mean, I get it.
I don't know. I don't practice enough.
You shouldn't.
Okay.
You're fine. You're okay. You good.
Can you need me a camel? You're very good at that. You're very good at that one. Let us know if you guys think in the comments below.